Welcome to the official story of Dragon Ball Yamoshi Chapter 1. This is a fan comic exploring the mysterious past of the first Super Saiyan, the man responsible for the birth of the myth that endured for thousands of years until it was realized once again in the modern age. The name of this young Saiyan? Yamoshi. This is his story. Dragon Ball Super Yamoshi Chapter 1, fan manga by Theobald de Boom, original author Akira Toriyama. Of course, we're covering this for purely entertainment purposes. I will make sure to link this to the official Kensenshu page, which is where I found the links to all these stories, so you guys can go ahead and read them as well, because there's a certain YouTuber that's actually covering these stories that's intentionally not linking them, so nobody can cover the stories as well. He's making a living off of this, and some of you probably know who he is. He's literally the only one covering stories from some of these particular artists, and he's intentionally not linking them. That way nobody else, no other content creators can cover them as well. It's really selfish and it's really greedy, and it's really shameful that he's doing that to community. So like I said, I'll be linking the official Kensenshu link, which will have all these fan mangas in the description box below, because I know some of you may want to read these for yourself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this chapter here, chapter 1 for the story in regards to Yamoshi. I am really excited to get into this. I've always wanted more information on Yamoshi, so without further ado, here we go. It's age 238 on planet Sadara, or planet Sadala, I would assume. Many years before the destruction of the planet Vegeta, the Saiyans lived on planet Sadara, which I would call Sadala, but for the sake of this manga, we'll just call it how it actually is in the manga. Long time no see. What do you want, old man? The king wants to see you. Who is that? Is that Paragus? Or is that just some old saying? Yamoshi. Yamoshi sighs and he's like, alright, I will go tomorrow. Good night, old man. That's Yamoshi. Looks pretty cool. Yamoshi says, I really wonder why the king wants to see me. So he ends up going back to wherever he is on this planet, and Yamoshi says, sorry I'm late, Physalis. Yeah, can we just call her Fizz? Is that okay? Can we call her Fizz? Because Physalis doesn't sound right, and I'm not sure how this name is pronounced, and I don't want to butcher it. Anyways, she says, oh, it's nothing. You've been a delay. And he says, yes. Tomorrow the king would like to talk with me. And she says, Yamoshi, what the hell did you do to get summoned? And Yamoshi says, I don't know, but the last time he called me was 3 years ago to make me leader of my team. And she says, don't worry. Imagine if he makes you king. And Yamoshi says, don't say anything stupid. I will sleep. Good night. Alright. So, I'm not sure. I believe this is, what is happening? Is he having like a flashback or something? Because the dialogue says, Yamoshi, you are weak, very weak. You failed to protect them. You are not a true leader. You are just a weak Saiyan. And Yamoshi's having all sorts of conflicting struggles right now, saying, no, no, no. I don't know if he's turning Super Saiyan right here in the bottom right image, but something is going on with Yamoshi. He's having a struggle, clearly a flashback, and oh, it was a dream. He wakes up and he says, no, not again. And I'm just gonna call her Fizz. She says, you make that again, nightmare? It's the third time this week. Sleep now. Ugh. That's what the old man is saying, or that's what she's saying. So this is West Saiyan Village. West Saiyan Village, as we can see, we got a couple of Saiyans rounding about. It says, in 238, which will be the year, Saiyans are not just powerful warriors, but brutal. Brutal traitors after the hunt. One part goes to a village to eat non-consumable items and are used to create jewelry and clothing that will be resold in other villages on other surrounding planets through small merchant ships. So guys, obviously for the record, I believe the original artist and creator of this particular fan manga, I think he's actually Japanese, so his English is not great. In fact, I take this back. I think this is actually translated from Japanese to English, which is why maybe some of the sentences and the wording may be a little bit off. I'm pretty sure the actual manga creator himself is completely Japanese in regards to his writing and his stuff I saw on Twitter. So this is translated from Japanese to English, so that's why sometimes some things may sound a little bit weird. So bottom right corner, we have, I'm assuming this is the same. He says, buy the cosmic pillow for the passion. And she's like, shut up. Interesting old lady. She looks like the lady from freaking Harry Potter, man. What is it, Bathilda Backshot? That lady still gives me nightmares. Anyways, Yamoshi says, well, I'll see you tonight. Good luck for sales. And Fizz, I'm just going to call her, says, thanks. Don't be too late this time, please. So, Yamoshi is walking away, and some girl sitting at one of her booths says, hey, Yamoshi, so you were summoned by the king. Yamoshi says, yes, how do you know that? Her name is Nasu. Thought alert incoming, but I digress. She says, the rumors circulate fast, you know. Your friend Kabura is also summoned. And Yamoshi, with a pretty annoyed look on his face, says, I am reassured not to be the only one. Thank you, Nasu. Yeah. Thought alert. Anyways, Yamoshi says, oh, can you give me that apple, please? And she says, yes, it's 5 gold. Or it's 5 gold. Will that be all? Gold or gold, whatever. Yamoshi says, it's strange. I have a bad feeling about the apple. A strange pre-feeling. You know, Yamoshi reminds me a lot of Shallot. Just based off of this dialogue, he definitely reminds me of Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends. Let me know if you guys kind of get the same vibe from him. Anyways, he goes on to say, I recognize that smell, and it's not a good sign. And I believe, is this Nasu? No, this is Fizz. She's like, what are you doing? And Yamoshi says, I paid for it. I do what I want with it. Is that, wait, who was talking? Hold on, I gotta go back. Is this Fizz? I didn't realize that she had on just like a bra. Okay. She says, stupid bastard, will die like your precious friend, that idiot of... And before she can even finish speaking, Yamoshi says, don't say his name. And now he's powering up. Ozaru Yamoshi is coming into the mix. Yo, this is a pretty cool looking graphic there. And she says, you are a hunt leader? Yamoshi says, yes. Now you're going to get rid of all those apples. They're dangerous. Okay, so it's Nasu. I just want to make sure. Nasu says, why? They're just simple apples. Yamoshi says, not really. They really smell weird, like they were infected with something invisible. And as you see, other Saiyans are kind of curious in regards to the commotion. And Yamoshi says, be careful what you sell. Goodbye, Nasu. And she says, wow. I didn't think Yamoshi could be so furious. So Yamoshi's still walking away. Assuming he's probably going to the palace. We'll see. So Yamoshi says, And there's his friend Kabura. I thought this dude had dreads. Does he have dreads? I can't tell. It looks like he has dreads. Holy crap. And Kabura's like, you're late, my dear Yamoshi. And Yamoshi says, you were already there, Kabura? And Kabura says, yes, old man. Came to me last night to tell me the king wanted to see us. Yamoshi says, me too. Do you have any idea why? Kabura says, not really. I'm sure it's about our last mission. Yamoshi says, I must confess, that's what I saw after the mission was not grandiose. And now, narration time. 1 week ago. So Kabura and Yamoshi are fighting whatever this thing is, some demon dragon monster, I don't know. Not a dragon, but demon for sure. Kabura says, I think we need a little help. This thing is tireless. And I believe that is Fizz. She's like, everybody get ready for the transformation. So I think all these Saiyans are about to turn into their Ozaru forms to fight this giant demon monster. Let's see. And Yamoshi says, after the transformation, you will follow my instructions. So we have a couple new Saiyans being introduced into the mix. Bottom left here is Romero. Yamoshi says, Romero, you will follow me in first. We have another Saiyan, Tensai. And Yamoshi says, Tensai with Kabura will fire once in position. And then Tensai responds, okay, boss, let's go, everyone. It's the end of this disgusting monster. Yamoshi, it is when you want. So yeah, all the Saiyans are on this planet fighting this giant behemoth of a monster. It says, when the Saiyans look at the moon, they can turn into a great ape called Ozaru and become 10 times stronger. We use this transformation hunting when our enemies are really hard to defeat. But some people don't control that Ozaru form, so you have to put in place a strategy. That was worded really weird. This is saying basically some people aren't able to really contain that control in their Ozaru form, so we have to put in place a strategy. Something along those lines. Yeah, that was pretty rough. Not gonna lie to you. Alright. So, I believe this is more narration. Very few Saiyans arrive at this feat because it requires a great control of himself. Some Saiyans manage to use the power of the Ozaru, or excuse me, I went out of line. Some Saiyans manage to use the power of the Ozaru without transforming. Their eyes become yellow and their strength is then tenfold. We call them the hunt leader because they lead their comrades. Very few Saiyans arrive to this feat because it requires a great control of himself. With the cry of the war leaders, then they can lead their allies during their missions. Wow, some interesting stuff, to say the least. Wording's a little bit weird, but I'm actually enjoying this. I'm enjoying the backlog and the story and everything so far. So, huge explosion. 10 minutes later, I'm assuming that monster was defeated by all the Ozarus that just transformed. Yamoshi says, "Everybody get their clothes back?" Fizz says, "Yes, but I have strange feeling there is a strange smell in the air." I believe this is that Tensai or Romero? I think that's Romero, if I'm not mistaken. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's Romero. So Romero ends up saying, "The same goes for me. We should get out of here. Fast." Romero, I believe, is still speaking. He goes on to say, "The smell is nauseating. It's scary." Yamoshi says, "Go home. I'll take it from here. Kobora, report the mission to the king, please." Romero says, "Be careful, Yamoshi." And then Fizz, I'm assuming his girlfriend, his wife, one of the two, says, "See you tonight, honey." And Yamoshi says, as he's flying away, "I've already smelled that. It can't be possible." Continues to sniff around and he says, "What a mess it is. Freaking out. Holy crap, what is that?" What just happened? What just happened to Yamoshi? He says, "What I saw that day, I cannot forget." What just happened? Is this... No, these are his... What is going on? Bodies are split in half? I'm so confused. Yamoshi says, "It's a nightmare." Who is that Cumber? Is that Cumber? That has to be Cumber. This has to be Cumber right here, guys. It has to be. Yamoshi says, "It's you. Yamoshi, wake up!" And I believe this is Kobora. And Kobora says, "Yamoshi, hey!" He says, "We arrived. The door of the king house. The door of the king's house." Yamoshi says, "Sorry, I was totally in my head." Oh, okay. So, Yamoshi and Kobora have arrived at what we would presume would be King Vegeta's place, but I would think King Vegeta would still be the king at this time, or somebody else along that lineage. Anyways, Kobora goes on to say, "He is the folly of greatness, our king." So they arrive at the palace. Definitely is I don't know if it's actually like Vegeta's father, King Vegeta, or like a different Vegeta, like the grandfather, but it's King Vegeta nonetheless, we can tell. It looks like it. And the king says, "Long time no see, Yamoshi. I'm not going to go all out of my way. I want us to talk about what you saw last week." And this is narration speaking. "The king is a powerful Saiyan who the people elected as a leader of our people. He also controls the power of the Ozaru, which we also call Ikari form. But the Saiyan state," some of the translation, guys, a little clunky. I don't know what this is saying, but it's saying the state for this is I don't know. That's what I'm guessing that's saying. King was elected by the people. That's the most important part. Anyway, Yamoshi goes on to say, "About the victims." "Yes, and more exactly, about the murdered." Like I said, guys, I apologize for some of the translations here, which, I give credit to whoever still tried translating this from Japanese. Obviously, there's going to be some errors here, depending on who the translator is. So we just kind of got to roll with it. Anyways, the king continues to speak and says, "Lately, we have observed strange changes in our planet. People have not been reacting in the same way for several months, as well as many animals and plants that die in unknown ways as if they are infected by an invisible virus." Kobora goes on to say, "Many more people are aggressive in the village. Yamoshi says, now that you say it, it explains some things. All these elements seem to be related to a particular person you know well, Yamoshi. All the changes that we have seen have happened since the disappearance of a certain Saiyan. Now, is this Cumber or is this Broly and Paragus? The old guy could be Paragus, and this could be a Broly. I have no idea. Let's keep reading. A member of our team who disappeared during a mission and was never found. Yamoshi says, it's not possible. And then the king says, this Saiyan had a serious disease. Do you remember? Huh, interesting. Okay. So whoever this mysterious Saiyan is the one with the disease that's possibly causing commotion on this planet. Kabura goes on to say, yes, these S cells were abnormal. He was having a serious madness crisis. Well, it's Broly or Cumber, one of the two. We know that for sure. Powering up. I don't know who it is. Could be Broly and Paragus because of the old guy, but who knows? We'll see. Yamoshi goes on to say, so I didn't dream that day. So it really is him. And the king says, yes, this Saiyan is none other than your friend. None other than your friend, Kanba. Yep, it is Cumber, indeed. Another crisis. It's not good. Wow, it actually is Cumber, Kamba. And guys, that does officially conclude chapter 1 here.